Hey guys, below the bottom tier here again, and today we'll be talking about the second variant of the glass cannon build. So first of all, I'm naming this the boss killer, and you will see why later on in the video. So first of all, melee weapons, it can be anything, but preferably a two-handed sword, any legendary or epic, just so that you can deal proper amounts of damage. The bow, you won't really need, but any bow is fine. Armor, it can be Cordanium armor, Okeptian armor, or Guardian's armor. But Guardian's armor is really expensive, so just keep that in mind. I think it's like 1.3 million now. Let's see. It's, yeah, 1.3 million. You don't really need the energy, so you don't need to worry about it. And then for the relics, it's Holy Remedy, Screamies, the Mask of Hugo Crowley, the Amulet of Deathly Howls, and the Peekaboo Brew. So if you notice from the first video compared to the second video, I swapped out the Mask of Atticus Crowley because in this one you don't need the fire. You just don't need the fire. So what can you replace with Holy Remedy? If you're rich enough, you can replace this with a Scorn. The reason for that is because Scorn leeches 50% of damage taken as health from attacker up to 5,000 health. So for example, if someone hits you for 100 damage, you gain back 50. If somebody hits you for 200, you gain back 100. So you can almost always keep your health below 750. Which is the important part. Screamies is to heal you so that you don't go too low in your HP. The Amulet of Deathly Howls and the Peekaboo Brew are the key parts here in the build. The Amulet of Deathly Howls doubles your damage when your health is below 25%. And the Peekaboo Brew is when you hit something, it deals 300% damage when you hit it after you become invisible. So you use this, you become invisible, you hit something for 300% extra damage, and then you become visible. The Mask of Hugo Crowley can be replaced. So this item can be replaced if you're confident you can kite. So what can you replace this with? If you don't want virtuals, you can use Sleepy Hollows because it acts as a slow, and from what I heard, stepping on your own Sleepy Hollows does not affect you anymore. That's one. Frosty Delight if you want extra energy to deal more damage for your right clicks, but again, energy not very needed. Next would be Northern Nectar. My god, I can't spell. Northern Nectar, your next 10 hits are guaranteed to be crit. So the reason why you want this is you can increase your damage from 10k, which you'll see later, to 12k. I'm very sorry, I don't have a recording of that. I just don't have the time due to exam weeks coming up, and you can just test it out for yourself. But if you want a cheaper build, you can actually go with Pumpkin Seed Soup. It's 22,000 gold, it's boosted by 20%, a critical hit boost by 25%, so you're losing about only 5% damage. So not really a big deal. But if you want extra health, like extra healing and extra energy, you can go with dried blushberries. But again, this mask is important in the sense that it helps you kite. If you're not confident in your kiting skills, please do not get rid of this mask. Next, your consumables. You will not use this, but just in case an oh shit moment happens, your Holy Remedy runs out, or you did something stupid, this one is to restore 300 HP to keep you within the range of the mask, so that you can run away, or within the range of the Amulet of Deathly Howls if you run out of Holy Remedy. The squid or any high healing item just so that you can get out. The energy pots is if you want to deal with bosses a lot faster, because you'll be right clicking them and their health just gets deleted. The lantern you can replace with a torch. I just like permanent lights. And that should be it for the items that I'm talking about right now. Next, what you can do is you can actually run transcendental maps with this. So the maps that I found the most success in is Shoraway Coast, Thornbed Necropolis. For the mythicals, Brawnwoods, Evanbrook Plains, Odinspire Sands. Though you might have a bit of a harder time here compared to the transcendental maps due to Obions can be ranged, Necronites can be ranged, Dreadlings are ranged, and this fucker poisons you. For the legendary maps, Archaea maps, Archaea mines, better just use the first variant. Isles of Iram, you can run this build. Mill Forest, you can run this build. For this one, I don't suggest you run this build because of this tree thing, the Willow Beast. The maps you should never, ever run with this build is Okep Caverns and Mount Okep. The reason for this is because the burn damage is too high for your sustain. You barely have any sustain. And Wraithmancers are a pain in the ass. Elites put you on fire. These things put you on fire. This thing puts you on fire. And this thing just basically throws grenades at you. Zenithal Wasteland, if you're confident, you can do it. But from my experience, I'm not skilled enough to do it. I can do it, but I do use consumables. The main reason why is because of these two. The Mordium and the Wraithmancers. But with all of that being said, I hope you enjoyed the run. I'll be doing Shoraway Coast, and in the later parts, I'll place a timestamp in the description in Necropolis on how to deal with Sereala. Because you would think for such a ranged boss, you would have a hard time using this build. But not really. She's not that big of a threat. Don't worry, there's going to be an explanation there. All the items and their purposes will be also explained down in this description below. So, with that being said, let's begin the run. So as you can see here, I took damage already. And this would be the second variant of the glass cannon build, the boss killer. I'm calling it that because it specializes in killing bosses and still keeping your runs within 15 minutes or below. So I'm gonna start off the run ramped up. So my health is already low, my mana is low, and you can see that this build is very effective. I'll be doing Shores, a transcendental map. So let's begin when our health goes closer to 900, just to show you. And I'll enter now. So this one, I'm already in the threshold for the mask, and my energy is 500. So you can see it's not a lot of energy to begin with, but if you know how to kite, energy wouldn't be too much of a problem. As you can see, not much damage is coming in, though I might actually take some damage just so that I could get to the second threshold, which is 750, to activate Amulet of Deathly House. There we go. You can two-hit them with a left click. This one, since they're fast, I prefer to right-click them. This one is slow, so you can easily kite. One of your problems here would be the Igums because of their spawns. But you can see the Okum just died really easily because of the decay. He could barely hit me. This is the point where I use a charge of Screamies because it's getting dangerous and I prefer to keep Holy Remedy over Screamies. Because Holy Remedy charge is very important for this build. Simply because it's your oh shit, something bad just happened and it's there to save you. So that one you can actually... I forgot to bring my fishing tool. Anyways... It's got too close. So you can actually right click an Ogre twice and it kills it. Since you wouldn't be spending your mana on things like Cyclopses, Lizardmen, Oberons or Obions, and you'll only be spending it on the Tigrar and Ogums, but if you're confident in fighting the Ogums, it's not that big of a problem. Though what is a problem is the range attacks of the Obions. Another problem is exiting the range of the Deathly Howls because it takes so much longer to kill things. But here's the exit. There we go. That's it for the Deathly Howls' effect. I'm taking too much damage. Later on, near the end of the video, I'll be showing the version of Sereala, a boss that is disadvantageous against this build, or you would think so, but there are ways to deal with it using this build. This would be the best health for what do you call this? For this build is just right under 750, so that you're safe enough to not really need healing, and your life is not too much in danger to actually proc Holy Remedy. So we know that the exit is here, so let's keep moving forward. I keep forgetting I don't have my tool. Oops, I messed up there. With the decay, you can actually... Oh, here's the shadow. So the reason why I'm naming it the boss killer is simply because of this. Watch him. So, oops, I messed up. There, 10k. Normally you're supposed to walk up to him, to hit him with the 10k. And the reason why I tell you to save up your Holy Remedy is because just in case you get hit by that thing, it doesn't instantly kill you. Watch, I'll take a hit. There. Instant heal. And it didn't kill me. And it took 1 charge. So this is why I prefer to save up Holy Remedy compared to Screamies. So, as mentioned before, I'll show you a clip of me fighting against Sereala. The reason for that is because she's the only ranged boss. From all the bosses I've tested so far, is easiest is Thunderclap, then Shadok, and then Sereala. The Nebular Demon, as explained at the very start, don't, for the love of God, don't run Caverns or Mount Okep because it's just a death wish. The burn damage is too much in that area for this type of build. And then there's also too much range. Any areas with high density of Wraithmancers, just don't even try it. You're just asking to die at that point. Ooh, a chest. So I bring fish like this just in case, or if I just want to top up my health. Since it heals 300, you can actually get the purple fish. It heals for 20 and gives you 100 energy. That's a lot better. But since I have over 1,000 of these, might as well bring that one instead. As you can see, I'm not really running out of energy. And what I can do with the Peekaboo Brew is one-shot an Ogum if I wanted to. But your main use case for the Peekaboo Brew would be boss killing. You only really need 1 charge, because there's a 60-second cooldown, and by the time that the cooldown is over, the boss is dead. If you're doing things right. If the boss isn't dead within that 60-second cooldown, you probably should practice a bit more in using this. So as you can see, my Holy Remedy, I still have 4 charges, so that's 1, 2 in health. And I still have 3 charges of Screamies, which is equivalent to about 750 extra health. And 450 in mana. With this build, you don't really need much energy, so you can actually replace the armor to epic armor or Hordanian armor. If you really want more energy, you can go with the Guardian armor, but like I think it's 1.3M now, which most people won't even have that much money after you spent your money on the masks, because the masks like 800 now, so around 1 mil if you could get it, like if someone is gonna sell it, so it's around that range. So just one more area here to finish up the map. I know that this wouldn't be a good indicator of how fast the run should be because I skipped the nodes, but what we can do is we can just increase the ending time by 1 to 2 minutes to cover for most, if not all, the nodes, because each gathering of a node is about 5 seconds roughly. So that was 11 minutes, assuming we add 3 minutes even. That's still 14 minutes in time, which is relatively average for a somewhat cheap build for transcendental runs, because most people would run pumpkin, harvester, moonlit, and then you can see the prices of that, which is, for example, 21 for the moonlit. Incubator is another 22. Pumpkin is 28. Harvester is 65. That's too much engine. At least with this build, you can roughly get it for less than 10k shadow stones. Because the melee weapon, as mentioned in the first variant, the glass cannon variant, it's can be really anything. It can be anything. The bow, you didn't even really see me use the bow, so it can be anything as well. As mentioned in the earlier parts, these items, I'll tell you what you can replace them with and their purposes for why they use them. But just keep in mind, the most important is the Amulet of Deathly Howls and the Peekaboo Brew. Here comes Sereala, and got rid of all the mobs on the side. Now you walk up to her and you smack her. What you do is you can actually counter attacks before you close back in, and oops, I missed. So counter attacks, smack, counter attacks, then you can smack her. Or you can actually just base tank her with Holy Remedy if you have enough charges. Her AI is still kind of broken though, where she likes to run away. So in times like that, you can actually just shoot her with a bow. It's free damage, but that's what it looks like with the second variant of the glass cannon build, the boss killer. So guys, that's it for the video today, and hopefully you liked it. If you like the build, like the video, and like the content that I'm producing, please leave a like in this video. It really helps me out. Subscribe if you find my content enjoyable. I'll be posting more stuff in the future, but I might be focusing more on guides for beginners because it seems to be on the harder side for them now. And if you have other questions about the build, you can leave it on the comments, or you can add me in Lost Relics. I'm Hellbringer52. You can ask me questions about the build. You can even send me screenshots in Discord on what if I don't have this item, what do you suggest I swap it with, what do you suggest I do if I don't have this item or this item. But do keep in mind, there are key items to this build. There are items that you cannot swap out. And that's everything. So below the bottom tier, out.